What movie features a giant head, clever wordplay, and Sean Connery in a very distinctive outfit? That would be 1974's Zardoz. I'm Cliffy from Cliff Dive into Movies. Join me and my AI co host as we explore 10 facts about the movie Zardoz.
The hunt is always better than the kill.
Number 1.
The movie was made because of a failed Lord of the Rings project.
Director-producer John Borman and the Studio United artists were for a time trying to figure out how to make a Lord of the Rings movie, but it was finally decided it was going to be too expensive, and some details of the story, they weren't even sure how they were going to do it. So United Artists dropped out, and however, this had given Borman the bug to world build his own movie, and that became Zardoz. Number 2.
Burt Reynolds was originally hired to play Zed.
Yes, it is hard to imagine anybody else wearing this outfit, but Burt Reynolds was the first choice. Both Burt Reynolds and John Borman wanted to reteam after doing Deliverance, and this was going to be that film. However, Reynolds got sick when production first began and had to drop out, which led to them hiring Sean Connery. Doing research for this video, I couldn't find what illness Reynolds had, but he did say that he regretted not doing the movie. Also, some people say that he grew his mustache for the film and then just kept it. That is not true. In his autobiography, he said he wanted to change his look because he was getting tired of being compared to Marlon Brando, and he was out drinking with his buddies, and they came up with the idea of a mustache, and he made that his look. Number 3.
Sean Connery was paid $200,000 to be in the movie.
For Connery, this was not a lot of money. However, the entire budget for Zardoz was roughly $1.5 million. Connery wanted to do a movie that would make people forget about James Bond, so he lowered his fee to get the part. Compare this with the fact that Connery was paid $1 million and other percentages to do his last James Bond movie, Diamonds Are Forever, although he did donate the base pay. And he was paid $750,000 for You Only Live Twice, which was his second to last James Bond movie. Number 4.
Zardoz was filmed entirely in Ireland.
John Borman was living in Ireland at the time and decided to film all of the movie in Ireland. The studio scenes were all filmed in Bray, County Wicklow, and the outdoor scenes were filmed in Kilmacangoo and Lugala Mountains. I'm pretty sure I'm saying those wrong. The farm was an actual working farm that they just added set decoration to. Number 5.
The producers had trouble bringing guns into Ireland.
For the movie, the production had to bring guns into Ireland, which proved to be a problem. At the time, the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, was very active, and there was extremely tight laws about bringing guns into Ireland. In fact, they almost considered not doing the movie because bringing guns in was being so difficult. Number 6.
The director, John Borman, has a cameo in the movie.
Director-producer John Borman has a cameo. He is the farmer that Zed shoots in the field. Number 7.
There was no post-production special effects in the movie.
Unusual for a science fiction movie, all of the special effects are done in camera. Nothing was done in post-production, meaning once they were done filming, they were done with the special effects. The floating head is usually just a model on strings held in front of the camera. There are a few shots where the head is just a picture that's on glass that's being held in front of the camera. And the videos on the wall are all done by rear projection. Number 8.
Though the prologue was a late addition to the movie.
That's right. The very first scene that you see with the floating head was added to the movie after the movie had already finished, and the studio was afraid that audiences wouldn't understand what the story was. So they added this scene. It didn't help because that was one of the complaints about the movie is that audiences didn't understand the movie. Number 9.
The final scene of the movie had to be filmed 3 different times.
I always wondered why Connery looked so pissed at the end of the movie. Well, that's because when the scene was first filmed, there was a flaw in the film and the footage could not be used. So the decision was made to refilm the final scenes the day after the wrap party. However, everybody was still a little hungover, and while on set, somebody opened the film and ruined the footage. Connery, who did not like having to have the old age makeup on, because apparently he didn't like to have any makeup or prosthetics on his face, was a little bit pissed, and after a few punches were thrown, they refilmed the scene that day. The guy who opened up the film apparently went to work in another country. Number 10. The movie was considered a bomb, and at the box office, people were confused by the story. The budget was $1.5 million, and it made about $1.8 million, so it did just barely make a profit. Connery, for his part, never regretted making the movie. It is funny that he agreed to do Zardoz and later Highlander, but turned down The Lord of the Rings because he didn't understand the story. Nowadays, of course, Zardoz has a bit of a cult following, and, personally, I kind of actually liked the movie. I thought it was entertaining, and I understood the story. Now, I'm Cliffy from Cliff Dive into Movies. I hope you liked this video as I liked making it, and it's been 10 facts about Zardoz.
Be sure to check out our other videos on the channel.
I destroy what I set out to defend.
He who fights too long against dragons becomes a dragon himself.